Alright, now this is where I'm going to show you, I forgot to tell you, you're not going to knit this at all. This is holding your provisional cast on strand so that it doesn't go anywhere. Otherwise it's going to pull out. You don't want it to pull out, so this gives you a little bit of control. And remember I told you we're going to be slipping the first stitch. It doesn't matter. I always slip to knit like this, and then I knit the second one here. Some people slip to purl. I don't think it's going to really matter very much in the long run how you go about slipping your stitch, as long as you slip your first stitch. So here we are, and we're going to be knitting 3 strands of cotton, 3 worsted weight strands of cotton. And basically, like I said, 59 rows. See, here's your first row. This is the first set of bumps. And there's your live stitches, if you can see them here. The yarn is running right through all your little live stitches there, so you just slide them on, knit them, and you can pull that strand out. And you're done. See there? There's all your live stitches. You can actually see them. There, and there, and there, and there. So this is a very nice cast on anytime you want live stitches. There's also a rolled rib cast on for like the socks and everything that I do, and that's using a provisional cast on exactly the same way, except you knit the knits and slip the purls on the first row, and then you slip the knits and knit and purl the purls on the second row, and you do that 2 times. And then on the 5th row, or round, you'd be knitting and purling, and it only counts as 3. But this gives you a rounded, curled rib. It wraps around and it looks really nice. It's stretchy, no binding. It pops back into shape nicely, and it has a very nice professional look to it. So that's what I use. The provisional cast on then becomes a way of marking, and I use the end to go up, and whenever I have a certain amount of rows, I'll pull the crochet cotton at this point through the stitch to mark the stitch, and I know how many rounds I've done. And although the jeweled stitch markers that we had for the exchange are nice, they kind of like drag on things and can get snagged and such. So I, for socks especially, like to use just string crochet cotton. I think it's a number 10 crochet cotton that I use. And I got, Lord alone knows I have enough of it around the house. So. Okay, so we're going to keep doing this. And like I said, 59 rows, this is row 2. So I have a long way to go, but it's nice mindless knitting from in front of the TV. And after a while you get to the point where you don't even have to look at what you're doing. You can knit in the movie theater. You can do all kinds of interesting things when you get good enough at it. And your hands know what's coming up. So we will see you at the end of the center part where we're going to put on the border, and I'll show you how I pick up stitches. And this is where slipping those stitches is going to come in very handy, because you're not going to have you're going to know exactly where your stitches are when you pick them up. And a lot of times when you're picking up stitches, if you don't slip that first stitch, you don't have a really nice edge to pick up on. So we'll see you then, and happy knitting.